body sends you subtle signals, brain fog during important meetings, joints that ache when you've done nothing strenuous, and skin that's suddenly dry no matter what cream you use. Even eating healthy, checking all the wellness boxes, and doing everything the experts recommend doesn't address the problem. Focus slipping, energy fading, heart racing, no clear reason. Not dramatic symptoms, just off. The changes are subtle and slow to accumulate. Something essential is missing. For many women, these quiet changes aren't recognized for what they really are: a deficiency affecting heart health and every cell in the body. But here's the thing: this deficiency in women rarely looks dramatic. No emergency room visit, no alarming diagnosis, just a slow decline in how you feel. Easier to blame on stress, hormones, or just getting older until you can't ignore it anymore. And once you understand how fish oil, specifically the omega-3 fatty acids, EPA and DHA, work in a woman's body, the connection becomes impossible to ignore. If you've been feeling off without a clear explanation, stay with me, because in this video, I'll share what finally turned things around with essential fatty acids, especially if what you've tried so far hasn't worked. If you're new here, I'm Dr. Gayla Gorman, a licensed acupuncturist, naturopath, and author of What's Your Kryptonite? If you'd like to connect with me, use the QR code on the screen or go to drgayla.com/links. On this channel, I'm here to help you reverse the effects of chronic stress so that you can cruise through midlife and beyond symptom-free. Let's start by talking about how fish oil and essential fatty acids actually support cellular and immune health. So here's what most people don't understand about omega-3s. They're not just good for the heart. They're working with every cell, from your mood to your energy to how your body changes over time. EPA and DHA, the two omega-3s that are found in fish oil, get incorporated directly into cell membranes. Think of cell membranes as the protective wall around every single cell in the body. When those membranes have enough omega-3s, cells function better. They communicate better, respond to signals more effectively. And here's where it gets interesting. Omega-3s play a major role in managing inflammation, not the acute inflammation that happens when an injury is healing, but the chronic, low-grade inflammation that drives disease. This is the inflammation linked to heart disease, autoimmune conditions, and even cognitive decline. If cognitive decline concerns you, you'll definitely enjoy my other video where I share how to age healthy, happy, and gracefully. The link should pop up right here on your screen, but if you miss it, no worries. I've included it in the description below. So here's what omega-3s do at the cellular level. They strengthen cell membranes. This improves how cells function and communicate throughout the body. They regulate inflammation. EPA and DHA help keep the immune system balanced, not overreacting, but responding appropriately when needed. They lower disease risk. Balanced omega-3 levels are associated with reduced risk of chronic conditions, especially the ones women deal with during midlife. Omega-3s aren't optional. They're foundational to how the body operates, especially when it comes to managing inflammation and supporting immunity. Understanding how omega-3s work is one thing, but getting enough of them, that's where most women fall short. And here's the truth. Not all omega-3 sources are created equal. Some deliver EPA and DHA directly to your cells. Others require the body to convert them, and that conversion barely happens. Think you're getting enough omega-3s? Let's find out. I'm going to share the top food sources of omega-3 fatty acids and the critical difference between what works and what doesn't. Chances are the foods you think are helping might not be enough. What's the best way to get omega-3s? What are the top food sources? You want to start by eating whole, natural food. Fatty fish like salmon, mackerel, and sardines are packed with EPA and DHA, the forms the body uses most efficiently for heart and brain health. But here's what most women don't realize. Not all omega-3s are the same. Plant-based sources like flax seeds, chia seeds, and walnuts provide ALA. That's alpha-linolenic acid. The body has to convert ALA into EPA and DHA, and honestly, it's not great at it. So while these plant foods are beneficial, they're not a substitute for fatty fish. Here's what matters most. Fatty fish should be the priority. Salmon, mackerel, or sardines a few times a week deliver EPA and DHA directly, no conversion needed. Plant sources add variety. Flax seeds, chia seeds, walnuts, and even soy products like tofu can boost ALA intake. What I will say here is that I personally don't like salmon, and I'm not going to eat mackerel or sardines. And so if you are in the same camp, then we may need to take a high quality supplement. And I will say that we tend to get a lot of imbalanced fats in our diet from all the seed oils that we eat. So it's really important that we take a high quality omega-3 fatty acid supplement to offset the imbalance created by these seed oils that we consume. You may know that I don't recommend taking any supplement long term, but in this particular case, this is one of those supplements that I consider to be a nutrition enhancement supplement. If we're not consuming nutrition that actually is getting the job done and giving our body all the raw building blocks it needs to produce energy, then we are going to need to supplement. So let me just point out that canola oil is one of the most common oils that is used, but this is honestly a pretty high processed fat. It can work, but it's really not going to get the job done. This actually is one of the sources that causes us to get an imbalance of our fatty acids. And so I'm not a fan of highly processed oils like this. More importantly, variety is fantastic. The more variety in the diet, the better chance the body has of getting what it needs. Again, relying solely on plant-based omega-3s means falling short. Fatty fish should be a part of the routine. I personally take a really high quality cod liver oil supplement. I'm not going to consume enough fatty fish to actually get the job done here. Here's something most women miss. When you're trying to get enough omega-3s, it's easy to think food alone will get the job done. Salmon twice a week, some chia seeds in your smoothie, maybe a handful of nuts. But what happens when food isn't enough, or when you're not absorbing what you think you are? That's when women turn to supplements, like I am suggesting here. And that's where things can get tricky. But the truth is, omega-3 deficiency doesn't just affect your cells, it affects how your body handles stress, and that stress makes everything worse. Fatty fish should be part of the routine, but let's be honest, most of us don't eat it as often as we should. And for many women, the gap between what they should be eating and what actually makes it to the table can be significant. Not getting enough omega-3s from food alone, let's talk about what comes next. I'm going to talk to you about what you need to know about those fish oil supplements I recommended a few moments ago. Because the quality difference between brands can be the difference between wasting money and actually supporting your health. And chances are the supplement you're taking right now isn't doing what you think it is. So here's the thing about fish oil supplements. Not all of them are created equal. An article from the National Institutes of Health looked at EPA and DHA supplements and made it clear that if you're going to take fish oil, you need to pay attention to three things. The EPA to DHA ratio, that's this omega-3s to omega-6s that I was mentioning a moment ago. Product purity, whether it was sourced in a clean body of water, and whether it will interact with your medications that you may already be taking. This is especially important if you're on blood thinners. Fish oil can amplify the effects of anticoagulants, and that's not something to mess around with. Here's what you need to know before you start popping fish oil capsules. The research is clear. Supplementation needs to be individualized based on your health and nutrient requirements. What works for someone else may not work for your body. Quality really matters. Look for supplements with verified EPA and DHA content. Cheap products may not deliver what they promise, even if it's what it says on the label. If you're taking a prescription medication for anticoagulant, you must talk to your prescribing physician before adding fish oil to your routine. The bottom line, fish oil can be beneficial, but only when it's done right. Generally, if you're not taking any prescription medication, it probably won't hurt you to take a high-quality fish oil supplement. But remember those subtle signals I mentioned, the brain fog, the achy joints, the skin that wouldn't cooperate. If an omega-3 deficiency is actually the root cause of the problem, then you can try using a high-quality supplement and see how your body reacts. Most women can feel a difference within 2 to 3 weeks, maybe even sooner. So if you know something's off, but you keep looking in the wrong places for answers, this may be what you're looking for. So now you understand how EPA and DHA work, which foods deliver them most effectively, and what to watch for if you're considering supplements. And more importantly, you have a framework for addressing essential fatty acid deficiency in a way that supports your heart health, immune function, and overall vitality. Because feeling off isn't something you have to accept. It's often your body asking for the right nutrients to function the way it's designed to. And omega-3s might just be the missing piece you've been searching for. And if your best efforts to live a healthy lifestyle and do all the things you've been led to think are supposed to work aren't getting the job done, you may even be feeling like you take 2 steps forward and 3 back. I have more resources to help you navigate midlife. Just go to drgala.com/links and watch my next video where I show you how to manage the toxic stress that's sabotaging your efforts. You can eliminate the symptoms that seem to be piling up in midlife naturally, without medication, crazy diets, intense exercise, or any other unsustainable lifestyle hack.